All right, guys. So obviously, a lot of discussion surrounding the Batman Part Two. It's kind of the biggest topic in the past week of genre film news. Um, Matt Reeves had yet another interview that I think it's just like the little drip feed of information is it's kind of tipping me in a direction, but we'll watch it and I will let you know as it goes.
So obviously, the audience already has an appetite. We're greedy in a good way. We want more.
Yeah.
How many discussions, like, are there real discussions
yeah.
about a season two right
Sure.
now?
Yeah. Lauren and Dylan and Colin and I are talking about doing another season, and it's all about. Obviously, we're doing the Batman 2. We
Yeah.
got to get the timing right on that. But we are our plan is and our hope is absolutely to do another season. We just have to come up with the idea that we think is the right idea.
Yeah.
Which is what we're working on.
Are you happy with, like, obviously,
So that is very interesting to me, right? Because I feel like up until now, it's been very much like, I don't know if we're going to do another season. I mean, who knows? Anything is possible, but that is like the first time I've seen somebody go like, oh yeah, no, the plan is to do a second season right now. Like we want to do it. It's gonna like that is what we're working towards. That is like the most definitive that I've seen. So actually, hold on, let me I'm actually kind of curious about something right now. Sorry, I just looked it up. It was nominated for Best Limited Series at the Golden Globes. Kind of crazy for Matt Reeves to be like, "Oh yeah, we're planning on doing another season." At the fucking Golden Globes themselves. Like, doesn't that disqualify them from the nomination? I don't know. But either way, yeah, I mean, they're doing another season. Awesome. I definitely think that there's more potential. I think the question is do they get it out before the Batman Part 2? Is that possible? I'm not really sure. Like, if they haven't started writing the script yet, or if they're just starting writing the script, then ugh, I, I honestly, I'm not sure. Like, I think it's possible that you get it out. Like, if you crank out that script, start filming sometime in 2025, like maybe you get it out late 2026. Because I mean, I think obviously the ideal thing right now would be to get something to tide us over before the Batman Part 2 because of the delay. But who knows?
see the release date change for Batman Part 2.
Yeah.
You want the script to be in a good place.
Of course.
So are you happy with the progress you're making and the release date you have
Yes,
now?
absolutely. No, things are. I mean, this year we're going to be shooting, and I'm very excited about it. And it's there's been a lot of stuff going on, and it's taken longer than I would have wanted. But also, I'm super excited about what we're doing. So I really can't wait to share that with everybody.
So that's actually kind of an interesting thing right there because one of the other rumors that has been going around, it was I thought that Matt Reeves kind of alluded to it in another video that I did where I was watching another interview of his. Another one of the rumors is that Matt Reeves has been going through some personal issues, and that's one of the major reasons why the script, why it's taken him so long to write the script. And I feel like he kind of alluded to it again there. So, I don't want to speculate on what his personal issues might be. That's not what I'm interested in it. But, if it is something like health issues or he's dealing with, like, I don't know, taking care of a sick family member or something. If it is something like that, then obviously fuck the Batman Part 2. Like, it's a stupid comic book movie. Like, take care of your own shit. We can wait. But yeah, nice to know that he seems very confident about starting to film this year. I mean, that's all. That's the best we can hope for at this point. Can't turn back time. It is what it is.
How tough has it been to figure out your main villain? There have been a lot of rumors lately. I've even heard Freeze as a potential
I
villain.
can't answer anything that you're going to.
But by now you've determined who the bad guy is.
Yes, of course, or we'd really be in trouble.
Is it going to be surprising to the audience?
I hope so. Yeah, I think so. I think that the story is a continuation in a certain way and completely different in another, and is going to show a different sides of Rob. I mean, I think it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be really cool.
Do you pay attention to the rumors out there?
Well, that's kind of an interesting answer, isn't it? Because it's like I don't know that we would expect, or sorry, what I mean to say is if we're meant to be surprised by the villain, then does that kind of rule out a lot of the ones that we've been talking about? Like, does that rule out Mr. Freeze? Does that rule out the Court of Owls? Does that rule out the Joker? Just because he was in the post credit scene of the Batman, like, or what was it, a post credit scene? I don't think it was a post credit scene. Either way, he was like, we've seen him, so he wouldn't be surprising if he showed up as the villain. Like, what is it gonna be? Freaking Condiment King? I know that's an interesting thing for him to say, for him to suggest that the villain would be surprising. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't read into that too much, but I'm very curious to see what that ends up meaning at the end of the day.
Because there are new rumors every single day.
I mean, you just kind of look at them casually and go like, oh, is that what they think now? Oh, interesting. Okay, but it's, you just got to put your head down and do what you do and try and do it as best you can.
And thoughts on other spin-off series at this point for Zoe, for other characters?
Look, I would love to do more, but I think right now the thing that we're really focused on, obviously we're talking about doing the second season of the Penguin, but my big priority is to get the Batman 2 shooting and going, and then it'd be exciting to see where we'll go from there.
And last thing for you,
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like, listen, if you want to do other spin-off shows, then I feel like you should be trying to maybe get one out before the Batman Part 2. I feel like that should be a priority. So, like, and obviously, like Matt doesn't have to be the one writing it and and showrunning it, which, to be clear, he didn't do that with the Penguin. Like, Lauren LaFranc, I believe, wrote the scripts and was like the showrunner. Obviously, Matt was involved, and at the end of the day, he is the grand poobah of the Reeves verse. But I don't know, man. Get somebody in there to make a Catwoman spinoff show. See if you can get that out before the Batman Part 2. Now, don't, like, obviously we still want it to be quality. Don't necessarily, like, rush it out, and be like, it has to be out before this date. Like, don't do that, but get somebody to start working on something and see if you can do it. So I don't know, that would be my approach, but I'm not Matt Reeves.
Spoke to James Gunn recently, and I asked him, obviously he talked about, letting you do your Reeves verse on his own. And I did ask him, have you contemplated recently integrating Rob into the DCU? And he said, they've talked about it because you talk about everything.
Sure, yeah.
What's your attitude about that at this point?
I mean, it really comes down to whether or not it makes sense. And, I think what's been great is there was really a kind of a story that I wanted to tell, we're calling the epic crime saga and all of that, which is the thrust of what we wanted to do. And it's been important to me to be able to play that out. Yeah. And, James and Peter have been really, really great about that, and they're letting us do that. And, what the future brings, I can't really tell you. I have no idea right now, except that my head is down now about getting the Batman Part 2 shooting and to make it something really, really special, which, of course, is the most important thing.
And if they decide, like, we really want Rob to be our DCU Batman?
I don't know. Well, we'll have to see where that goes.
Fair enough. I won't put you on the spot anymore. Congratulations.
So that's a really fascinating answer. I mean, I feel like up until now, I feel like there's been just a lot of discussion around, I feel like most of I feel like every time that they've been asked this, I feel like, yes, James Gunn said that, we're contemplating it and whatnot, but I feel like it's always been like, at the end of the day, been like, but just to be clear, like that, like we decided to have them be separate. This is the first time that I feel like I've heard either James Gunn or Matt Reeves or just somebody involved be like, well, we'll see what the future holds, if the story is right. And it feels like Matt Reeves is kind of giving us a little bit of insight where it seems like if there were going to be a compromise, it would be that Matt Reeves is going like, hey, listen, if we do this, I would still like to play out my epic crime saga, which is still kind of a goofy name, but you know what? I think after the Batman and the Penguin, they've earned it. It is an epic crime saga. It is the Batman epic crime saga. Where it seems like maybe if there is a compromise to come to, it would be like, hey, I want to still do my what my intentions are for my story. I want to play this out the way that I initially intended it. And then, hey, maybe after we sort of introduce our Batman and our Batman, it goes through his like grounded, gritty realism shit. Then maybe he ends up. Maybe there's a time jump, right? Maybe they end up saying that the Batman trilogy is like a prequel to his introduction into the DCU. Like maybe they do something like that. I don't know. Like that is an interesting concept to contemplate. But I will say this, like it is just hard for me to imagine that coming off of the Batman that we see in Creature Commandos, right, that takes out Dr. Phosphorus. Like it really is just, it is hard for me to imagine the Robert Pattinson Batman existing in that world. The fact that they've shown us that Dr. Phosphorus is a thing that exists in Gotham is just like, it's just hard for me to imagine Dr. Phosphorus existing in the Matt Reeves Batman world. It just is. So I'm still hesitant to the idea, but I would be lying if I said that Matt Reeves' answer right there doesn't make me... I would be lying if it said that it wasn't sort of making me lean towards the direction of, I think they are going to find a way to make Robert Pattinson the DCU Batman. But we'll have to wait and see at the end of the day what does end up happening. But every day we're getting a little breadcrumbs. We're following the little trail. It's going to lead us to the answer, I guess. Or well, obviously one day they'll just come out and say it. But either way, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.